Hi, and welcome to the Girl Empowerment Project podcast. I'm Amy, and I'm your host on this journey of parenthood. And although I'm 48 years old, don't tell anybody, it's a secret. I can remember being a little girl like it was yesterday. And yet at the same time, it feels like forever ago at times, which I guess it was, if you think about it. And I guess you can say that I was a typical little girl. Growing up in the 80s led me to daily bike rides with my friends, playing with my Barbie and her townhouse, coloring in coloring books, and dreaming about growing up, dreaming about being a grown up. If I really think back to it all, I can recall many times when I was bullied or told that I was stupid or ugly. There were times when my dreams were put down and I felt in that moment so deflated. I mean, kids are kids, right? That's the excuse that everyone uses, but it's not an excuse because it tears at kids' hearts. And they are going to say hurtful things, not knowing the impact it will have on someone later on in life. But that's not where my story starts. It starts with a nickname that, when given to me, was done in jest, that the person who gave it to me had no idea the impact and what it would do to my self esteem or confidence level. Now, I'm going to share this with you, and this is in confidence because I trust all of you and I love you all. The nickname I was given was Dip, and the meaning behind it was that I said stupid things without even thinking about them too often. And it was supposed to be a fun little nickname. And ultimately, it was my choice to carry it with me. And even though in a subconscious way, it had a bigger effect on me than I would have liked to have had. It fed off of all of the negative beliefs I had from my childhood. And it morphed into something really ugly and powerful, something that held me back from so many things that I wish I could turn back time and fix. And it created eating disorders, constant control issues, and other actions that, although at the time seemed to feel good, resulted in me feeling quite the opposite. Don't worry, it wasn't anything illegal, didn't do anything harmful to myself in, relative terms. I'm not happy to admit that I allowed the nickname to do this to me. And I didn't do too much to kill it off. I fed it, I nurtured it, and was codependent to it. And I believed that was who I really was, a dip. Then in 2003, I had my own daughter. Oh, what an amazing experience. And I had to be a positive role model for her, right? I mean, that's part of the job description. Change diapers, feed her, play with her, dream with her, and give her your life for her, right? And I did all that. So much so that I lost myself. And it was worth it, or so I thought. Being a role model means being something strong and vulnerable at the same time. I thought though that it meant not having faults, and that to my own fault, that had a bigger effect on me. I felt the pressure and I didn't know how to handle it. I would speak negatively about myself in front of my daughter, which is so dangerous because those little ears are hearing everything. And although I knew this was so wrong in so many ways, it was my limiting beliefs rearing their ugly heads. My fear as a mom was that these beliefs were infiltrating my daughter too. But it really wasn't until I started working so closely with the young girls in my classes as a teacher that I saw the little girl version of me in them. I heard their negative self talk. I wiped away their tears. I hugged the feelings of anxiety away, and I held the girl of each hand, struggling in her own journey. And in those moments, I knew what I needed to do. And that's when I became a girl empowerment coach. I left teaching. I built a program. And now I can impact girls. And now here it is, the Girl Empowerment Project podcast for you. I have to admit that it has been one of the most powerful things I've done in a long time. Leaving the classroom to impact girls that truly need the love to be the version of themselves that they may not know even exists is a passion of mine. It's what the world needs right now. The world needs little girls to hone in on their powers and strengths and abilities that will change the world. And as a girl empowerment coach now broadcasting on this podcast, I'm able to speak to the moms and dads that wish to empower their own daughters. The moms and dads that struggle to understand how to move past their own limiting beliefs to help their little girl be strong, confident, and brave. The moms and dads that need to hear that it's okay for them to make mistakes as parents, that it's okay to not know everything, that it's okay to learn as they go, and that more importantly, it's okay to not be perfect. We as moms and dads are not perfect beings. You're going to screw up, and your daughter is going to see it. And that's okay because you're human. Allow your daughter to see that humanity in yourself, to see the realness. There's nothing wrong with it. So don't think that there's anything wrong with you, because there's never anything wrong with your daughter. Parenting is hard. You aren't given a manual when your baby girl's born, and there are no real rules. You can't snap your fingers to put a safety net under her. You can't bubble wrap her to protect her from the harshness of the world. And every day as a parent, you question yourself, which is perfectly normal. Because if you're not questioning yourself, then that's when something might be a little bit wrong. You need to question everything. So often, though, we are unaware of the right answers and find the struggle of raising a daughter to be more real than ever. As a parent, one of the hardest parts is connecting with your daughter when she has the world whispering in her ear and taking her by the hand. All of the hard, like school, friends, social media, self-doubt, negative self-talk, and peer pressure, that is all put on your daughter at her young age. These are all charging at your daughter full force on a daily basis while you work at figuring out how to get your daughter to simply talk to you. It shouldn't be so hard, right? And as hard as it is, you must approach it all with grace and love and compassion for your daughter and for yourself. How to help her see her inner beauty, how to help her attract true friends and believe in herself. No longer is a young girl all about playing with toys, going out to ride her bike with friends all day, playing at the playground, or coloring in a coloring book or on paper. And yes, it may happen in your home. Your daughter may still be playing with her Barbies or her American Girl dolls or playing sports. But that's not what girls ages 8 to 13 are really doing anymore. They're trolling social media like YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, and they're watching other girls that are older than them, watching how they dance, how they dress, how they do their makeup, their hair. They are comparing themselves to these other girls, and the internal narrative begins, and it changes, and it grows powerful. And how do we compete with that as parents? It's all about the conversations and the positive role modeling that you as a mom or a dad have to do. The Girl Empowerment Project podcast is all about community, building one another up to help all the little girls out there build themselves up with our guidance. This podcast will bring guests that specialize in techniques and areas that can support you as a parent when you want to work with your daughter, whether it's breathing techniques, to lower your daughter's anxiety, hints on how to communicate effectively through body language and words of confidence and empowerment, ways to shop for clothes with your daughter that won't start fights, and even creating a safe space for her within her home. All of these may sound so simple, and you may think that it just comes automatically, but it doesn't. I promise you it doesn't. It takes work. It takes a commitment, and it takes people to support you. And I'm here to tell all the moms and dads out there with little girls that even though it isn't an easy job, it is the most important. So hang in there. Stay strong. Cry if you need to, even scream if you need to. And if you need to, like, cover that scream with a pillow, do it. It's all worth it. And I promise you, you are not alone. We are all here in the same boat, paddling the same waters with the sharks, with the piranhas. And at the same time, you have those gentle dolphins swimming in that same body of water, ready to comfort you and make you laugh and make you smile. So just know that this podcast is here for you, for your daughter, and it's here to provide whatever support you need. So I'm glad you're here. I'm happy to be on this journey with you, and I'm so excited to see where it takes us. And I say us because we're doing this together. Got it? Okay. So I look forward to this community growing and supporting one another, and I can't wait to see how you grow as a parent. Mwah.